Ever wondered about the origins of the Thanksgiving holiday, the elaborate feast we celebrate every fourth Thursday of November? This tradition, deeply woven into the fabric of American culture, traces its roots back to a time long before it became synonymous with turkey, stuffing, and football. Our story begins with ancient harvest festivals, journeys to the iconic gathering at Plymouth, and evolves into a heartfelt commemoration recognized as a national holiday. It's a tale filled with the joy of parades, notably the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and yet not without its share of controversies. This is more than just a meal shared among family and friends. It's a testament to the resilience and spirit of a nation, a celebration that has weathered the test of time, yet continues to adapt and grow. Join us as we journey back in time to discover the roots of this beloved American tradition. Long before the advent of the Thanksgiving holiday as we know it, the concept of giving thanks was not unfamiliar to ancient civilizations. They had their own unique ways of expressing gratitude for a successful harvest season. These traditions were more than just feasts. They were deeply ingrained parts of their cultures and belief systems. In the heart of ancient Rome, for instance, they celebrated Cerealia, a festival dedicated to Ceres, the goddess of grain. This day of Thanksgiving was marked by music, parades, and of course, a grand feast. Across the ocean, the indigenous peoples of North America also held ceremonies and festivals to express gratitude for the bounty of the earth. These celebrations varied from tribe to tribe, but shared a common theme of giving thanks. Even the English settlers, who would later establish the tradition of Thanksgiving in the New World, had their own version called the Harvest Home. This was a time to rejoice and give thanks for a successful harvest. So the idea of setting aside time to give thanks for one's blessings is a concept as old as civilization itself. Fast forward to 1621, to a small colony in Plymouth, where the roots of our modern Thanksgiving holiday begin to take shape. Here, we find the Plymouth colonists, a group of European settlers sharing a harvest feast with the Wampanoag people. This was not just a meal, but a significant moment of coming together, a narrative of unity and cooperation in an era often marked by conflict and hardship. Over 3 days, they celebrated the bounty of the harvest, a testament to their collective efforts and a symbol of their shared survival. The menu was a far cry from our modern Thanksgiving spread, but it was a feast nonetheless. They likely feasted on local fowl, perhaps even wild turkey, and plenty of seafood including clams, lobster and eel, all abundant in the area. Corn, in grain form for making bread or porridge, was also served. No mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce or pumpkin pie graced their table, as these staples hadn't made their way into the common diet yet. These dishes were prepared using traditional Native American spices and cooking methods, a culinary fusion that marked the blending of these two cultures. This first Thanksgiving was not just about the food though. It was about unity, about coming together in the face of adversity and celebrating the fruits of their labor. This gathering at Plymouth is often considered the foundation upon which our current Thanksgiving traditions are built. It took over 2 centuries for Thanksgiving to evolve from a local celebration to a national holiday. In the early days, the harvest feast, shared by the Plymouth colonists and the Wampanoag people in 1621, which we now recognize as the first Thanksgiving, was not an annual event. Rather, days of Thanksgiving were sporadically celebrated by individual colonies and states, each observing it in their own unique way. It wasn't until the year 1863, amidst the Civil War, that President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a National Thanksgiving Day. He did this in an effort to foster a sense of unity and gratitude within a nation torn by conflict. It was a bold and impactful move, one that would indelibly etch Thanksgiving into the American cultural fabric. Now, on each fourth Thursday of November, families and friends across the United States gather to express their thankfulness. The holiday has indeed evolved over time, shedding much of its religious significance. The focus of the day has shifted from a solemn recognition of the blessings of the harvest to a celebration centered around a bountiful meal with loved ones. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie have become traditional fare, symbolizing the abundance that we are thankful for. Thanksgiving has also given rise to other traditions, such as volunteering and turkey pardoning rituals, further underlining the spirit of gratitude and community that the day embodies. President Lincoln's proclamation solidified Thanksgiving's place in American culture, forever marking the fourth Thursday of November as a day of gratitude and feasting. What would Thanksgiving be without the iconic Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? This parade, a spectacle in its own right, has been an integral part of the Thanksgiving tradition since the early 20th century. It all began in the Roaring Twenties, specifically 1924, when Macy's employees, many of whom were immigrants, wanted to celebrate their new American heritage with a European-style festival. The event was such a hit that Macy's declared it would become an annual event. The parade has evolved over the years, from live animals borrowed from the Central Park Zoo to the introduction of the stunning, larger-than-life character balloons we know and love today. These balloons, which made their debut in 1927 with the character of Felix the Cat, have become synonymous with the Macy's Parade. Through the Great Depression, World War II, and into the modern era, the parade has persisted, bringing joy and a sense of unity to millions. Today, it's not just a parade, but a nationally televised event, featuring performances from Broadway musicals, popular music artists, and high school marching bands from across the country. With its giant balloons, floats, and performances, the Macy's Parade adds a dash of spectacle and excitement to the Thanksgiving holiday. However, not all aspects of Thanksgiving's history are heartwarming tales of unity and gratitude. The holiday, as we've come to know it, has stirred up its fair share of controversy. The main concern lies in the belief that Thanksgiving tends to gloss over the history of oppression between European settlers and Native Americans. Critics argue that the narrative of a peaceful feast shared between the Plymouth colonists and the Wampanoag people in 1621 often overshadows the subsequent conflicts and struggles. This perspective asserts that the holiday can unintentionally sanitize a history marked by land dispossession, violence, and cultural erasure. As we gather around the table to partake in the Thanksgiving feast, it's essential that we also take a moment to reflect on these historical realities. The story of Thanksgiving is not just about gratitude and togetherness, but also about acknowledging the complexities of our shared past. While Thanksgiving is a cherished tradition, it's important to remember and acknowledge the complex history that surrounds it. So, there you have it, the origins and evolution of the Thanksgiving holiday. We've journeyed from the ancient harvest feasts that planted the seeds of this tradition to the meeting of Plymouth colonists and Wampanoag people in 1621, which many regard as the first Thanksgiving. We've seen how this day of gratitude was elevated to a national holiday by President Abraham Lincoln during the turmoil of the Civil War, becoming a beacon of unity and gratitude. We've marveled at the spectacle of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a celebration that has delighted millions since the early 20th century. But we've also acknowledged the controversies that swirl around this holiday, the debates about its origins, and the painful history it masks for many Native Americans. As we've learned, Thanksgiving is not just about turkey and pumpkin pie, it's a complex tapestry woven with threads of history, culture, conflict, and celebration. As we gather around the table this Thanksgiving, let's remember the rich and complex history that has shaped this holiday into the tradition we know today.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits, saying cheers, and have a good day.